what's up YouTubers? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer 55551, and I am back with a My 2 Cent Switch/gaming video for this week, where I take a look at some of the stories that came out that caught my attention and give you my thoughts and my opinions of them. And for this one, we got like a big one. We got like about 7 stories that I think caught my attention as well, with one of them being one that was announced last week that I wanted to add in my last week's My 2 Cent video, but I didn't though, so I'm adding it in this one. So why don't we get started with our My 2 Cent video for this week, and we'll start off with the first one. And this one has to do with the announcement that Koei.to, the game, if I'm saying the name correctly, is coming to the Nintendo Switch. Now, for those who don't know what Koei.to is, I believe, and I think I remember seeing some episode of it, it's an animated series. I believe they broadcasted a little bit of it on Cartoon Network on their Toonami. It's basically developed. Basically, the series is from the same person who I think I did the one call, and I apologize if I'm saying the name wrong. It's, I think, Tenjo Top Girl Lagoon. I apologize if I'm saying the name incorrectly. If I am, again, I'm sorry about that. So I never got it. I've heard of the anime series, but I never got a chance to watch it. If it's on Hulu or Amazon Instant Video or Netflix, I might get a chance though. But in the meantime, it appears as though that along with the PS4 and the PC version, it was announced that the Switch version will be coming over. In 2 different articles, links will be in the description. We'll start off with the first one that points out that from Destructor, and they're saying, a quote, "This weekend at Aulx Studio Japan 2018, Nintendo had announced that the upcoming fighting game Koei.to If will be launching on the Nintendo Switch alongside its previously announced PC and PS4 platform. The brawler, currently in development at A+ Games, sees the cast of the popular anime and manga series set up to plate and throw down in a self-described button-mashing manner. Alongside news of the Switch release, Big Bad Ryu Kurin, Ragyo Kiruin, and Not So Big Bad Nuiharime will also announce as roster addition and will be joining non-canon fighters, non-canon CANONICAL, again, apologize if I'm not saying the word correctly, fighting action. It's also reported that it was, I guess they may be referring to as Arc System Works, for them, that they are working on that version as well. Also, it's worth pointing out that so far there hasn't been any confirmation if the game will be coming to the West. But even if there's no confirmed confirmation of a Western release, given the fact that both the PS4 and the Nintendo Switch are region free, chances are that means that people can import it, pending that language barrier is an issue if there's an English option or anything like that. So it is nice that the Switch is certainly getting more and more games. It's certainly not in the situation as it was during the Wii U era, to be exact. While not every game is going to appeal to everybody, I do welcome the fact that they are bringing a fighting game, which surprisingly we're seeing more on the Switch than I have seen like in past platforms like the 3DS. Although 3DS got some more, but not a huge amount as far as I'm aware of. So it's nice that it's coming over, and it's certainly, I gotta take a look at the anime series as well, but it's certainly nice that Arc System is certainly supporting Arc System Work is certainly supporting the Switch a bit more. I remember hearing how there may be technical issues that might hold them back, but with the upcoming Guilty Gear games, the Dragon Ball Z Fighter game, I believe that's out for the Switch, and now this, it's certainly they're supporting the Switch now more than ever. One comment I have seen so far is people have joked about, will Sony censor this version, though, as some of you may be aware of. Last week it was announced that Dead or Alive Extreme 3 Scarlet, the PS4 version, will be censored, while the Nintendo version will not be. So it's unclear if that's going to happen to Koei.to, the game, if or not. But overall, it's nice that it's coming to the Nintendo Switch. I may not be the biggest fan in terms of fighting games or anything like that, but you know what? If there's an audience and it's there, then yeah, bring the game over. I'm sure there are people who will be looking forward to playing this game, whether it's on the Switch or the PS4 to be exact. So overall, it's nice that Arc System Work is bringing this game over to the Nintendo Switch. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll get to part 2, and this one has to do with the fact that Nintendo has recently changed their YouTube policy, and this might be actually good. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 2 of our My 2 Cent video for this week, and this one has to do with a policy that Nintendo had in terms of evolving streaming or showing off gameplay footage of their games, which now it seems as though they did a complete reversal though. Now, when it comes to their YouTube policy, not everybody has been a big fan of the policy though, and I don't entirely disagree with that argument. Yes, there are some. Yes, I will agree to a certain extent. It is their IP. They can choose to enact their content creators program or not. So it's certainly, I'm not against their right to do it, but that doesn't mean I 100% agree with the decision, though. And we've seen where some companies, though, that kind of have abused in terms of the content ID or copyright claims, or even the infamous copyright strikes, where some people will pose a copyright strike on a video that they don't like or anything like that. See Jim Sterling versus Digital Homicide as a good example, though. Well, it appears as though Nintendo has done a complete 180 in terms of their YouTube policy, though. According to their website, again, links will be in the description of this video, they have now posted what is called Nintendo Game Content Guidelines for Online Videos and Image Sharing Platform. This was written on November 29th. It says, quote, "We are humbled every day by your loyal and passion for Nintendo games, characters, and worlds, and respect that you want to be able to express your creativity by sharing your own original videos and image using content from our games. As long as you follow some basic rules, we will not object to your use of gameplay footage and or screenshot captures from the games for which Nintendo owns the copyright, Nintendo game content, in the content you create for appropriate videos and image sharing site. To help guide you, we prepare the following guidelines." Quote, number 1, you may monetize your video and channel using the monetization method separately specific by Nintendo. Other forms of monetization of our intellectual property for commercial purposes are not permitted. Number 2, we encourage you to create videos that include your creative input and commentary. Videos and images that contain mere copies of Nintendo game content without creative input or commentary are not permitted. You may, however, post gameplay videos and screenshots using Nintendo system features such as capture button on Nintendo Switch without additional input or commentary. You are permitted to use, okay, that's number 2. Number 3, you are permitted to use Nintendo game content that has been officially released or from promotional materials officially released by Nintendo, such as product trailers or Nintendo Directs. Number 4, if you want to use intellectual property of a third party, you are responsible for obtaining any necessary third party permissions. Number 5, you are not permitted to imply or state that your videos are officially affiliated with or sponsored by Nintendo. And number 6, we reserve the right to remove any content that we believe is unlawful, infringe, or inappropriate or not in line with these guidelines. Please understand that we will not be able to respond to individual inquiries regarding these guidelines. Also, we may update these guidelines from time to time, so please refer to the latest version before sharing your content. So, in other words, based on what Nintendo has written, at least in terms of their YouTube policy, it seems as though, and this has been reported by several other sites, is that the content creator program, which has been controversial and not loved by everybody, is going away, and you can now basically monetize any gameplay footage of Nintendo games you played, supposedly as long as it stays within this guidelines though, without having to sign up to their content creator program or the whole, we'll give you 40% in terms of ad revenues and shares and all that stuff. So for me, honestly, I think this is a good step in the right direction. And I think to some degree, they're starting to realize that, in some ways, this is free advertisement and all. Now, I'm sure there are going to be some who might still not be happy with what they wrote in their guideline policies. And make no mistake, Nintendo could reverse course and change their decision and update their policy and maybe add something new or different or something like that. So there's no denying that they could change at any time on this. But I do believe this is a step in the right direction. And I do applaud the fact that they are now letting people monetize their gameplay footage if they show off their gameplay footage and all that stuff. Or even if folks who do a review of their game and they show off gameplay footage and all that stuff, not have to worry about Nintendo issuing a copyright or a content ID on their video or anything like that. So it sounds like that's the direction that they're going with this. Hopefully that basically they will continue to ease up a little bit more, sort of modernize in certain areas, and hopefully they will sort of ease up in terms of, people using their gameplay footage and all that stuff. So overall, I like the direction they're going with this. I'm glad that they're changing this policy though. I'm aware it is their intellectual property and they have a right to do create the content ID or anything. They have a right to do the content creators program, or supposedly the right to remove any content that they believe is unlawful, infringe, or inappropriate, or something like that. So, but overall, I feel as though this is a step in the right direction. Hopefully, we'll see more content creators maybe post footage of Nintendo games on their YouTube channels, though. Maybe now, and this is just a long shot, but maybe now we'll see Angry Joe, for crying out loud, post maybe more reviews of Nintendo games. I know he has sort of a history with Nintendo, including a lot of their content ID and all that stuff, so maybe we'll see more of that, but we'll have to wait and see. But overall, I feel as though this is a step in the right direction. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we'll get to part 3, and this one has to do with more controversy with Fallout 76, though. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 3 of our My True Set video for this week. And for this one, we're going to be talking about Fallout 76 again. Apparently, that game cannot seem to find a way to get itself out of the news, and for all the wrong reasons, though. Ranging from this week's article pointing out to Bethesda giving lifetime bans to some Fallout 76 players for supposedly homophobic attacks, to some people to Bethesda claiming that there are people who are actively have over 1 million people playing it who are enjoying the game, to the most recent controversy has to do with basically a $200 collector's edition, in which supposedly it supposedly came with a bag that was not the one that was advertised in the collector's edition, which has had Bethesda prompted supposedly an apology by giving away 500 atoms, which for those who use the in-game currency, that equals to an amount of just $5. So they're giving you $5 of in-game currency for something that you paid about $200 for a collector's edition, though. But the one big one that seems to connect this with the whole collector's edition is the possibility that Bethesda could face a lawsuit. I mean, could. I'm not saying officially if it will or not, but according to an article from Business Insider, links in the description, it points out that it's basically pointing out that has led to a loss. Bethesda's actions has led to a lawsuit from one firm that is considering a class action suit against the company on behalf of the players. According to what the article is saying, so it says quote, a Washington D.C. law firm, McInnes and Rather, MIGLIACCIO, LLP has, again, apologize I'm not saying the name correctly, has announced that they plan to investigate Bethesda's refund policy and the Power Armor Edition advertisement to determine if it's worth filing a class action lawsuit claiming excessive DECEPTIVE trade practices. In preparation for a potential class action lawsuit, the firm is asking dissatisfied players to submit a confidential questionnaire if they attempt to get a refund or receive the nylon bag with the Power Armor edition. Power Armor edition, though. Supposedly, they've at their site, they're saying, quote, they're saying that they've added the whole thing, though. And basically, according to some of the reports they're saying, though, about this law firm, though, they're saying that this law firm supposedly has some good reviews or not. I'm not 100% sure whether those are just people trolling or if that's true or not. Now, whether or not this lawsuit goes through or not, or whether or not you agree with this lawsuit or not, there's no denying that this has to be a nightmare for Bethesda and all. I mean, as much as I like Bethesda, and I do like a lot of the games they put out, I like Evil Within 1 and 2, Doom was great, especially on the Nintendo Switch, which is surprisingly how that ran well on there, along with Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus. I like Skyrim, especially on the Nintendo Switch as well, and I did enjoy Fallout 4, though, despite I'm aware some of the visually it may not be the best looking game, but I still enjoyed that game, though. But it seems as though Fallout 76 has just rubbed a lot of people in the wrong way. Now, some people will complain that some of these people are trolling and all that stuff, or just jumping on the hate bandwagon, which is a possibility. I won't deny that, but I find it hard to imagine that everybody is trolling or anything like that. I do think that Bethesda mishandled this, and along with the whole issue of the creation engine, which many are claiming is outdated, and it certainly is going to put pressure on them, especially with the upcoming Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield. I mean, that's good. If after seeing how Fallout 76 looks, many people may not be happy and fear that Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield are just going to look like Fallout 76, look just as bad or anything like that. Now, I haven't tried the game out, so I can't make an official decision whether it's that bad as people claim it is or not. But this certainly has turned into a nightmare scenario for Bethesda, and they're certainly getting a lot of backlash. And honestly, as much as I like Bethesda, given the way they've handled the situation so far, I do think they kind of deserved it. Much like how EA did last year in the way they handled the whole loot box controversy. They got a lot of backlash out of it, and honestly, they do deserve the backlash as well. And unfortunately, I think Bethesda deserves this kind of backlash. Whether this lawsuit goes through or not remains to be seen, but I will admit that this whole lawsuit does kind of give an eerie similarity, I shall say, to what happened back in 2013 with Alien Colonial Marines, and how several gamers sued both Gearbox and Sega over basically false advertisement over Alien Colonial Marines, and we know how much of a debacle of a mess that turned out to be, though, and supposedly Sega basically settled it out of court or anything like that. So it will be really interesting to see if this lawsuit goes through, and if so, will Bethesda try to fight this lawsuit with their lawyers, or will they try to go for basically settling this out of court, not to drag this further than it is right now. And who knows, maybe Fallout 76 can pull a No Man's Sky and maybe redeem itself and actually fix the problems, address some of the issues, and make it a game that actually is worth playing, though. So, again, we don't know if that will happen. It's too early to say for sure, though. But overall, it's just but this has been a nightmare for Bethesda. It just seems like it's getting worse and worse. Bethesda's really going to have to prove to people that they've learned their lessons over how they handle Fallout 76, and they're really going to have to hit it out of the ballpark with, I think, Elder Scrolls 6 and the upcoming Doom Eternal and Starfield, because right now pressure is going to be on them after how Fallout 76 was being handled. As for the lawsuit, it's going to be very interesting to see if this lawsuit goes through or not. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll get to part 4, and this one has to do with Battlefield 5, as apparently that game didn't exactly do well either, along with Fallout 76. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 4 of our My Two Cent video for this week. And for this one, we're going to be taking a look at Battlefield 5 and its sales numbers, which, from what I've been reading so far, has not been good. Battlefield 5, for the most part, has had, unfortunately, a bumpy road in terms of leading up to its release. From its official, one of the trailers, which showed off a woman with a prosthetic arm and one of the soldiers with a katana sword, to basically the infamous "don't like it, don't buy it" comment, and the pre-order supposedly down, especially since the game was originally supposed to come out in October, being sandwiched between Call of Duty Black Ops 4 and Red Dead Redemption 2, and combine that with EA's reputation, which obviously isn't exactly the greatest reputation in the world. There certainly was a lot going against Battlefield 5, and unfortunately it looks like the numbers didn't exactly hold up for them. According to an article from segmentnext.com, links are in the description of this video, it says, quote, "It was pretty clear that Battlefield 5 didn't have a great launch, and now it has been officially confirmed. DICE Battlefield 5 didn't do well, especially in the UK, as the game's physics were down 63% compared to Battlefield 1. Battlefield 5 sales were not that much, and that's why the game debuted at number 4 spot on the UK retail charts. Now, a big game like Battlefield 5 launching at number 4 spot isn't impressive, and it's actually pretty bad, but the data doesn't consider digital sales. It's possible digital sales might be good for the game, though. Still, a significant drop should be concerning, though. However, DICE Battlefield 5 has at least managed to overcome the Fallout 76 and Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Battlefield 5 did come with a pricey deluxe edition, which allowed everyone to play the game early. Battlefield 5 Deluxe Edition owners could play the game on the 15th of November. It can be a reason why players would have to choose a digital version instead of a physical version. Battlefield 5 has also started to come, reviews have also started to come in, and poor reviews definitely didn't help the sales. According to Eurogamer, it's a complete mess. There's been a lot of negative response about the game since its beta. The game also lacks a Battle Royale mode, which was available in Black Ops 4. Among other shooter games, Black Ops 4 is leading the genre without any competition for now. Battlefield 5 completely lags behind. Black Ops 4 doesn't have a story mode, but its multiplayer mode and zombie modes are a lot of fun to play. As for Battlefield 5, people are already complaining about the glitches and the horrible experience it offers. Though it points out Battlefield reviews are not all that bad. Many Battlefield 5 reviews also say the game offers an amazing experience of World War II. It packs a lot of different maps. It comes with weapons customization and brings new gameplay features to the Battlefield 5 series. So the game, along with Fallout 76, it's obviously clear both of those games, Battlefield 5 in particular, has sort of not met the developers' expectation, though I suspect that EA may have expected the game to sell like gangbusters or anything like that. I think what hurt the game, and I think a lot of it was some of the comments that EA made that certainly did not help. I don't. The whole prostrated women in fighting, women with the prostrated arm, though, may have turned off some people when they made the claim of the game being historically accurate, though. And I don't buy the SJW or feminazi argument. At that point, I feel like that card has been played around one too many times. But if you're going to do historically accurate, though, you could look at other women that have served in World War II. I believe, although I have to look this up, I believe there were women who served in the Russian army during World War II that I think were a sniper unit, to be exact. So if you're going to use a woman in a World War II setting or use a playable female character, you can use those kind of settings and look up actual historically accurate women that did fight during World War II. Another thing, to be exact, is the fact that your infamous "don't like it, don't buy" comment certainly a lot of people got that message, and it explained why the game, basically why the pre-orders were down, though. So I think there were a lot of features, and given EA's history of finding more than ways to piss off consumers, that may have been the thing, though. With Battlefield 5 not performing very well, and Star Wars Battlefront 2 certainly not performing very well, especially with the whole loot box controversy, I wonder how long until it's only a matter of time before EA decides to kill off DICE, to be exact. Because at this point, it seems as though the only game that seems to be generating money for EA right now is the whole FIFA and Madden and the whole, loot box things, which they are continuing to defy in the best way possible, despite recent crackdowns from other countries on the game, not to mention sort of like the FTC now investigating loot boxes in general. So I just feel like it's only a matter of time before DICE goes on the choppy block, given EA's reputation and history. So overall, it's unfortunate this happened to Battlefield 5, but if the numbers are true, to be exact, but it's not entirely shocking considering what EA pulled in terms of the whole marketing and everything leading up to the release of Battlefield 5. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to get to part 5, and this one has to do with an old school arcade game getting a remake and being released exclusively on the Switch for a new generation, though. Whether it's the kind of game that interests you or not, that's going to be based on your preference and all. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 5 of our My Two Cent video for this week. And for this one, we're going to be taking a look at an announcement of an old arcade game getting remastered and remade that I never thought in a million years it would get a chance to see a re-release, and that is TOKI, T-O-K-I. Now, I remember it a long time ago when I was like really young. I remember seeing this at several local arcades. Hell, I remember at a time when I saw this at the Pizza Hut restaurant and people were playing that game, though, and I thought it was kind of interesting. I may have tried it out for a little bit. At the time, probably wasn't good at it, though, and God, I feel old for even talking about it, though. So it was very interesting last week, and that when it turned out to be that a developer by the name of Microids, M-I-C-R-O-I-D-S. For those who are not familiar with them, they're the ones that released last year's Gear Club Unlimited for the Nintendo Switch, which wasn't a bad racing game or anything else, but it certainly, there probably were better racing games or racing simulation games out there. But considering that there isn't really a whole lot on the Switch at the moment right now, you didn't have really a huge amount of options. Although, supposedly they're releasing a sequel this year called Gear Club Unlimited 2 that supposedly will be an improvement over the first one. We'll have to wait and see how that turns out. But apparently, they are basically developing and remaking the original arcade classic Toki with some new art styles and all that stuff. So, from an article posted on Destructoid, it reads, quote, Microids, M-I-C-R-O-I-D-S, again, I'm sorry if I'm not saying the name correctly, has released a launch trailer for their next Nintendo Switch release, a remake of the classic arcade platform Toki. The game has been rebuilt from the ground up and launches in Europe today, which was probably last week, exclusively on the hybrid console though, although I did see somewhere that supposedly it will come out on the 4th over here in the US. Toki, which was released in the arcade in 1989 before being ported to various home fronts, is the story of a Tarzan-like character who is transformed into an ape by an evil sorceress, now capable of only of climbing around treetops, spinning projectiles at all and Sunday. Toki must make his way to the treacherous jungle to defeat the evil sorceress and save his girl Miho and restore his human form. The remake of Toki features all new graphics and a reorchestrated score. A special edition includes various extras such as a comic, a sticker sheet, and a cute wooden cabinet to house your Switch unit, turning it into a mini arcade cabinet though. So it's kind of interesting that they announced this of all games to remake this game though. So it's sort of interesting, but you know what? As someone who likes a lot of old school 2D platformers and those old school type of games though, it certainly has perked my interest, and it's certainly one I would definitely take a look at and try out for the Nintendo Switch, even though I may not have been exactly perfect at the game back in the days when that came out though. I was really young and all that stuff. So overall, it's odd that this is, out of all the games out there, this is getting a remake, but it's definitely one that I would keep an eye out, especially as someone who likes a lot of those old school arcade 2D games and all that stuff. Although for me, a lot of the arcade games I remember playing were games like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game, and of course Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Simpsons arcade game, Double Dragon, Final Fight, and so forth. So this one I'm definitely looking for. This one I definitely will try out as well. So it's nice that this one's getting a remake, even though it may not be the game that everyone was expecting to come to the Nintendo Switch, or maybe the game that might interest everyone. So, but overall, definitely going to keep an eye out for this one. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to get to part 6, and this one's going to be that of what Koei Tecmo might be teasing, and not only that, what the teasing will not only come to the PS4, but the Nintendo Switch, and I think PC as well. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 6 of our My 2 Cent video for this week. And for this one, we're going to be taking a look at a surprise, interesting date set by Koei Tecmo. Now, I'm sure most of you, especially if you're a Switch owner, Koei Tecmo has been more supportive of the Nintendo Switch than they have kind of in the past, although they have released some games on the Switch, on the Wii U, like Ninja Gaiden 3, Razor's Edge, one of the Warriors games, and of course Hyrule Warriors as well. Well, it looks like they're going to be releasing another game for the Nintendo Switch, but it's also coming to the PS4 and PC. We just don't know what it is, as they set a date for December 6th. In an article on Nintendo Life, it reads, quote, that Koei Tecmo has been one of the biggest supporters for the Switch, and it doesn't appear as if they will be slowing down production on the hybrid platform anytime soon. Following the announcement that Dead or Alive Extreme 3 Scarlet would surface on Nintendo's latest system early next year, the Japanese company has now reported teasing a new game announced for the Switch, PS4, PC via a new website with the following line, quote, The fatal battle begins. The big reveal is scheduled for 6th December. As GEMATSU noticed, this announcement will take place in Japan many hours before the Video Game Awards have even started in the US. Given how this game will also appear on multiple other platforms, don't expect to see any special Nintendo crossovers like Hyrule Warriors or Fire Emblem Warriors. While you might have already convinced yourself it's another announcement linked to the Long Warrior series, some fans have speculated Ninja Gaiden could be making a comeback, though. So basically, the fact that it's coming to multiple platforms, whatever game they're working on, is certainly nice, and it's glad that they are also adding the Nintendo Switch in it as well. As for what game it could be, well, again, there are many announcements it could be. What they could announce, though. Some may point to another Warriors game and all, and that is the most likely scenario, to be exact. But it is also, I won't rule out the possibility that it could be, say, another entry in the Ninja Gaiden series. Now, it could be, say, like a remake or trilogy collection of Ninja Gaiden 1, 2, and 3 that were released on the original, I think, released on the Xbox, and then later we saw it make its way over to the PlayStation 3, to be exact. So that's a possibility. The other possible scenario is that they also announce maybe more features for Dead or Alive 6, and when we hear suddenly that it's coming to the Nintendo Switch, that's a possibility. The other possibility is that they could also dig in and maybe bring back some of their older games, like maybe they are reviving, say, Tecmo's classic, I think, arcade NES, and then released on, I think, in 2002 for the PlayStation 2, Rygar. That's a possibility to maybe bringing back Crimson Sea or win back Covert Operations. Again, it's a stretch on those ones, but it is still possible. Or the other possibility is, and although it sounds highly unlikely, and I could be completely wrong on this one, is the fact that perhaps NOL2, the NIOH, the sequel to the first one that it was exclusive to the PlayStation 4, could be a multi-platform release. I'm not 100% sure about that one, so we'll have to wait and see. But I am very curious to see what Koei Tecmo is going to announce on December 6th. I am going to set my expectations to mild because I don't want to make a prediction that turns out to be false, or suddenly figure, oh, it's going to be a disappointment, and realizing, oh wait, this may actually be good. So for now, I'm setting it to mild on this one, just like I am with the Video Game Awards, in which supposedly there's going to be announcements made for that one, to be exact. But I will say I am curious, though. If I had it my way, what I would like to see come from this announcement, personally, I would like it to be either the Ninja Gaiden trilogy or a Ninja Gaiden 4, a remake or sequel to Rygar, a remake or a sequel, or the remake of the 2 win-back games, or a third one, or a remake of Crimson Sea 2 or Crimson Sea 3 would be nice if that were to happen, though. But like I said, I'm setting my expectations to mild, so we'll have to wait and see on December 6th, and we'll also have to wait and see if these games will see the light of day in the West. And even if somehow they don't, like always, the PS4 and Nintendo Switch are region-free, so you can always, if they don't announce a Western release, you can always consider the option of importing it if that's what the direction you want to go with. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to get to part 7, and this one has to do with an update that's been made for the upcoming release of Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with our 6th and final part of our My 2 Cent video, and for this one it has to do with the Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Bloodstained so far has kind of a mixed time this year, though. While the game Bloodstained Curse of the Moon came out to surprisingly good reviews, and supposedly that did very well. I did enjoy the game, to be exact. It plays like, the old school Castlevania type of a game. The game Ritual of the Night, the one that had a successful Kickstarter, has been met with several delays. Originally, I think it was supposed to come out in 2018. and then it got pushed. I think 2017 first, and then it got pushed back to 2018, and then it certainly got pushed back to 2019. And some have sort of has raised some concerns about it. Some are writing it off, saying like it's turned into a Mighty Number 9 situation, though. And now recently, it has been reported that WayForward, the folks who have worked on the game, the Shantae series, though, a personal favorite of mine, is helping out with the upcoming Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. According to comicbook.com, linked in the description, though, it's stating, quote, "We already know that producer Koji Igata, Koji Igarashi, again, I apologize if I'm saying the name wrong, and his team have been hard work on the 2.5D action-adventure Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, set to release it sometime in 2019. But now the team is serious about making the Castlevania-inspired game the best it could be, and it just brought on a team of experts to get the job done. It's confirmed in a new update on the Bloodstained Kickstarter page that the developers at WayForward have joined the project, bringing their years of experience to the table to ensure that the game meets its release period next year. WayForward previously worked on titles such as Shantae Half Genie Hero Ultimate Edition, enjoyed that game, The Mummy Demastered, which I actually enjoyed that one. It was kind of like a mixture of the Metroidvania style with a bit of a Dark Souls kind of approach, as well as other projects like DuckTales Remaster and Contra 4. So its reputation certainly speaks for itself. The following comment came in turn. Here's what it says, a quote from the Kickstarter. "For this month's update, we have incredible support who will be joining the Bloodstained team. Can you guess who? It's WayForward. That's right, WayForward, the maker of Shantae. As you may already know, they are top tier when it comes to side-scrolling action games. There is even a staff member who previously worked on one of my projects, which is incredibly encouraging. In consideration of their past achievement, WayForward will be helping the development team realize my vision for this game. Maybe I am even more excited than everyone else. With their help, Bloodstained will become an even better game. It's unknown whether WayForward will be it's unknown to what extent WayForward will be contributing to the project, but their talent certainly won't go to waste here and will give Bloodstained just the polish it needs to be a serious contender for one of next year's best game. Plus, considering it's coming to multi-platform, it doesn't hurt to have a team that works on them, including Nintendo Switch. Congrats to all involved with the project, though." I think this is both good news, but I can understand why some people have some concerns of it. Having WayForward worked in on this project is certainly nice, considering when it comes to a lot of the 2D games, though, or Metroidvania style games, they're known to really do a lot of really good 2D games, though. Of course, Shantae, Half Genie Hero, and the Shantae series has always been a favorite of mine. Like I said, I like the Mummy Demastered from last year, though. It's amazing that did better than the 2017 Mummy movie, to be exact, though. But I can understand why some people are very concerned about this, though. The fact that they've waited a long time for this game to come out, and there are those who, well, feel like that basically, they feel like that this is turning into a Mighty Number 9 situation, where basically we all saw how that played out, how long they had to wait for that game, the whole debacle of a mess that turned out to be, though. And while I'm not ready to write off Bloodstained Ritual of the Night as a Mighty Number 9 situation, I can understand why some people have some concerns about this project, though. I'm still going to give the developers on this the benefit of the doubt. I still want to see the game see for it for myself, though, and it's worth pointing out, though, that I am a backer of this game, to be exact. So I just want to give that disclosure out there as well. And as someone who backed this game, I want to hopefully see this project go through and become a success, though, okay? Whether it does become a success or not will remain to be seen. Hopefully, it doesn't turn into a Mighty Number 9 situation. My fingers are crossed about that. But we'll have to wait and see when it comes out in 2019. I hope it does come out in 2019. We don't have to wait a longer time, because I think the more delays that start coming out, the more saying that we have to delay this game, I think a lot of people are going to start losing patience, though, as we saw with Mighty Number 9. I think that's the last thing they want to go into. As far as WayForward being involved in this, who knows? It's possible they may be just working on the Switch version alone. It's possible that, like they said, they might be helping out with other stuff as well. So we'll have to wait and see. So overall, it's nice that WayForward is getting involved with this. Hopefully don't hit any more delays, but I can understand why some people may have some concerns and may feel, and some are feeling like this is turning into the Mighty Number 9 situation all over again. Okay, this concludes this My 2 Cent video for this week. And again, these are my opinion, but what are yours? What are your thoughts about Kill La Kill coming to the Nintendo Switch? Is it a game you're looking forward to trying out? Is it a game you plan to get to for the Nintendo Switch? Or do you plan to get it for the PS4 or PC? Or do you not plan to get this game at all? What do you think about Nintendo's reversal on their YouTube policy, though? Do you think this is a step in the right direction? Do you think this is a good thing? Do you think this is a bad thing? Are there areas they could improve upon this as well? Do you think it's right for them to dump the creators, their Nintendo Creators Content Program? Or do you think they should not have dumped that program at all? What are your thoughts about Fallout 76 and the possibility of a lawsuit happening? Do you think that people have a case against Bethesda over how they handle Fallout 76, including the whole $200 collector's edition? Do you think they don't have a case? Do you think there's a chance they'll settle this out at court, though? Do you still think people have a right to be angry at Bethesda? Do you think some people are blowing it way out of proportion or anything like that? What are your thoughts about Battlefield 5 sales numbers? Do you think EA deserved it after what they pulled with Battlefield 5, ranging from, the don't like it, don't buy it, to the whole reveal trailer? I think one of the trailers where they showed off a British woman with a prosthetic arm or anything like that. Do you think the game's good? Do you think the game's bad or anything like that? What do you think about the announcement of TOKI coming to the Nintendo Switch, the remastered or remake of this game? Do you think is this a game you're looking forward to trying? Do you think this is like, really? They're remaking this? Why are they remaking this at all anyway? What are your thoughts about what Koei Tecmo might announce on December 6th? Do you think are you raising your expectations on this one? Are you saying it to mile or low? Do you think it's another Warriors game, or do you think it's something like maybe say a Ninja Gaiden game, to be exact? And what are your thoughts about this update for Bloodstained with WayForward helping out with the game? Do you think this is a good thing? Do you think this is a bad thing? Do you think this will help make the game, hopefully help bring the game out in 2019? Or are you concerned that this could turn into another Mighty Number 9 kind of a situation? Do you agree with what I said in this video? Do you disagree? Do you have a difference of opinion? As always, sound off on the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And I hope you hit that like button. I would appreciate it. And I hope you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you do, make sure you hit the bell icon for notifications of any new videos I do. Also, feel free to share this video if you want to. And feel free to donate to my channel if you like. You could do it through PayPal Me or Patreon. Links will be in the description of this video. And I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully that will be soon. Until then, from Southern California, I wish you all a good day then. Bye!